The Märklin Donkey Engine is pretty much now ready to be reassembled. The boiler, as you can see, has been cleaned up. I've repainted the cast base. Now I've used the XHT paint on this, as obviously part of that cast base is the firebox. And I think it's turned out okay. The boiler cleaned up really nicely. There's the odd little tiny dent in it, but there's nothing to sort of really worry about too much. All of the remaining little bits and pieces that have all been cleaned. The cylinder has been painted black. The flywheel has been touched up. That's all ready to go back on. That's going to be my next job, reassembling all that lot. The only outstanding parts, unfortunately, are the whistle and the blowdown valve, which go in here and here. I'm still waiting for those to turn up from Germany. It's not surprising. I mean, obviously, anything from abroad takes a little bit of time, and in these COVID times, with the lack of staff, people off work, so forth, it takes a lot longer. So I'm going to get on and put all the other bits on, and then we'll be ready for the last two parts. While the little Märklin Donkey Engine is all but finished, unfortunately, I'm still waiting on the parts from Germany. It's been about 20 days now. Blowdown valve for there, whistle for there. I've been in touch with the seller and he's looked into it at his end, but there are delays with the German post, and there's certainly delays with the UK post as well. So I'm just going to have to wait that one out. But it's looking pretty good. What have I done since the last time this was on? Oh right, yes, I've made up the little wooden handle for the regulator. That turned out okay. Don't really like turning small bits of wood on the lathe, very difficult and fiddly, but we got there in the end. The two-step pulley, that's been made, and I got some correct nuts for the thread on the shaft there. So yeah, there's I mean, it is pretty much complete. It's not going to look an awful lot different when I get the whistle and the blowdown valve. So it's just frustrating because I really want to get this one steamed and get it running so you can see it in action. But we're just going to have to wait for those parts, unfortunately. So that's where we are. That's where we are with the little Märklin Donkey Engine at the moment. Well, it's finally finished. The little Märklin Donkey Engine is done. Now, this has probably got to be one of the longest restorations of a model steam engine I've ever done. Now, in my defence, quite a few weeks delay was put in by the mix-up of parts getting lost in the post from Germany to me, and the seller having to send me some other parts. So, that was several weeks worth of delay. And of course, an awful lot had to be made for this engine. If you remember from the beginning of this, I have had to make the little adapter block for the whistle, the cap for the oil cup, the valve in there for the regulator. I had to make the safety valve, the pulley, and the chimney. Oh yeah, and of course, I nearly forgot the last thing I made, which was the base plate, which goes in here. So there was a lot to make for it, and of course the cylinder and the little cylinder, and of course the piston rod and the collar rod all had to be made. So there was quite a lot to be done on this, but it's worth it because I think it's turned out really, really well. Now there are some inaccuracies. Obviously, the safety valve is not quite right. I haven't got the facility to turn the ball on the top of the safety valve. That's not exactly the right whistle, although it is a Märklin whistle. So that's, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect recreation of the original, but I think it's pretty close. Holds true to the feeling of the original engine. Now I haven't got a burner for it, but I would probably use the little round Bix gas burner anyway. So that's what we're going to use to try and get it steamed. And that being said, let's get it steamed. Right, got a little gas burner in there. It's been on for a while now. First time I tried to spin it up, it did spit water all over the place, so I've actually emptied a little tiny bit out. I think this is actually a level plug, so let's give it a go. I think we might be there. Yes, we are. Look at that, amazing. It's running, yay. See if the regulator works. And it does. Amazing. Now, I was really worried that there was going to be leaks all over the place on this thing because it's got so many areas it can leak from. Yeah, well, there you go. I'll try again. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just getting water out of the whistle. Not surprising. As I said, I think this may now be a level plug because I filled it up to there and then I added another 50 millilitres, but it just primed and spat water out all over the place. So yeah, let's change the camera angle a bit. It's a lovely, quiet little engine. Very little noise. And the other thing I'm rather pleased about is that that's my original piston. If you remember, I did say, thought I was going to have to remake that because it was a bit sloppy. Let's slow it down a bit. But I didn't. It all worked out fine. And it will run quite slowly as well, so I'm impressed with that. Yeah, not quite that slow. Yeah, excellent. I am so pleased. It was good because this obviously took such a long time to do, and there was so much to do with it. You know, it really has turned out okay. I do like steam engines that have got regulators on them. No, I'm well pleased with that. Runs a treat. Yeah, I really did think we have leaks all over the place, but it seems to be all right. It doesn't appear to be leaking. I think we've got a little bit of steam leak coming out of the regulator valve, but other than that, it's not major. Change the camera angle slightly. It's really smooth. There is a slight wobble on the flywheel. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Should have put it on the turntable, shouldn't I? I wasn't a friggin' idiot. Yeah, real smooth running. Yeah, I'm well pleased with that. Well, I think that's about it for the old Märklin Donkey Engine. A success, which is always good, and especially when lots of new parts were made and other parts were sourced, but they fitted anyway. So, yeah, I'm well pleased. So, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this video on the Märklin Donkey Engine. Thanks as always for watching. Cheers!